This time I'm gonna explain how to make a quilt block from a Dresden, and you can make a cushion cover as you can see here, and here is a decorative cushion cover, or you can make some quilts from the blocks. For example, this is single size quilt, 6 pieces of the blocks, and if you use 12 piece queen, and this is the 16 piece of the blocks. Is it visible? I don't know. This is for the single, queen, and the king size. Before starting all this Dresden part, better to prepare some embroidery in the middle. This is traditional Turkish Ukrainian cross-stitch embroidery. I made it from with the machine, but you can use anything else, some applique or hand embroidery, depends on what you really want. This is some different kind of embroidery in the middle, but you need to be sure that it is not going to be bigger than the 7.5 inch, 7.5 inch to 7.5 inch. And before starting the embroidery, better to prepare your fabrics. Of course, like every quilt we are making, you need to start your fabrics and iron them to make them prepare. And the base part of the fabric, it is gonna be, you need to cut 22 inch to 22 inch and prepare the, mark the middle point here and do your embroidery on it. And free templates, patterns for the Dresden are at the link at the below. And if you have any possibility to make these acrylic cuts, this is for the 16 plate, this is for the 12 plate, because it's going to be easier to cut the fabric. But if it's not, you can, where is my template here? You can use some plastic sheet like this. It is going to be easier to cut by yourself. And we can start, I believe. Okay, see you. After finishing your embroidery, we can cut our fabrics using the template. This is a 16 plate Dresden. I use different kind of prints. Each fabric has different prints, but you can choose the same or some different variation. Now we need to fold from middle as you see and iron. Let's pass this one pretty fast. This is friction pen. You can buy anywhere else from any stationery shop. This pen will disappear. This lines disappear with the ironing. And use your Dresden wedge to mark on your fabrics. Just be careful how you are putting the Dresden wedge on the fabric. The fold sign should be on the fold side of the fabric, not like this. Turn and mark on each part for 16 Dresden. This is the last one. Let's sew on the marks. With continuous sewing, it's easier and faster. Later on we will cut the small seam continuous seams. We need to cut from the seams, 1/4 inch far from the seams. We have the fold, as you can see, and from the seams from each side, separate fabrics, and make a perfect triangle at the top and press. In press with your hands first, make a triangle at the top, separate the fabric from the seams to each side, and iron. Again, this is, I'm telling you, this is the 16 plate Dresden. Later on I will show for the 12 plate. Now we need to find a way to combine our colors. Like a blue to red, gray to blue. I am matching the colors as pair. And we need to sew 1/4 inch seam allowance on the one side. Now we have 8 pieces. Let's press. And for each pair, again we need to pair to the other 2 pair. So at the after this one we will have 4 Dresden. Okay, actually 4 Dresdens in this 16 plate. We will have 45 degree. So we need to measure. we will have 4 pieces of the seal. Again, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we need to measure, is it going to be exactly, properly 45 degree. Take your square quilt ruler and from the 45 degree try to put onto the 45 degree, and for this Dresden approximately it is gonna be the 6 inch at the end. And 45 degrees should be in the middle, and the whole Dresden should be 90 degree. This part of the Dresden part. So whatever it's more, just cut it. So now we have perfectly 90 degree. Again, for the second one, put the ruler 45 degree in the middle, and on the side cut. For 4 pieces we need to do the same. Each part is 90 degree. Now we need to sew these parts together. I prefer to make 2 pieces first. Let's adjust the color combinations. Maybe it's better like that. This 2 part. And the second part. Now, half of the Dresden is ready. Press. The other half. So on 16 plate Dresden, 4 pieces for Dresden it is 90 degree, and the 8th one is 180 degree. Now we are again measuring, is it going to be 80 and 180? If it is not, we cut the extras. The second one, let's measure. A little bit off from the sides. We need to trim if there is, yes. Now we need to pin to each other the sides. And again, that's all. Yep, ready. Let's press nicely. In each step, better to press. Ironing is very important. Now our Dresdens are ready for the 16 plates. Okay, each Dresden are circle, 360 degree. So half of the Dresdens are 180 and the quarter is the 90 degree. "20 plate, there is different kind of the Dresdens, 20 plates, 16, 12. For example, 20 plates is the 18 degree template, Dresden template. Plate Dresden, if you divide to 360, it is 22.5 degree Dresden plate. And for the so 22.5 degree, it looks like this. So there will be 4 Dresden plates on 90 degree. So to the 90 degree there will be 4 Dresdens. For the 12 plate, our template, if we calculate from the 360 degree, it is going to be 30 degree Dresden, which is going to be 3 pieces on 90 degree. So quarter part of the Dresden for the 12 plate, it will be just 3 Dresden. But for the 16 plate, it will be 4 Dresden. So when I'm using the 12 plate Dresden, I have to measure and to cut the sides for the 3 Dresden plate. But I did for the 16 plate 4 pieces. Now this is the 12 plate Dresden. I find 45 degree on my square ruler. Where is it? Aligning in the middle. Yes, it's in the middle. And to cut the sides. And you just make a trim. So when we sew all of this together, it shouldn't be off. We can catch the almost perfect circle round. Second quarter, let's do the same. Let's sew it. This is 2 pieces of the hole. Each side it has 6 plates. Now we are gonna sew them each other, each side, and we will complete our 12 plate dress. Yep, voila. In this part, we will use some temporary glue. This is glue best. It's very easy to use on the appliques and fast with the iron. So when we use this one, this applique works are not moving, and it is more accurate. This is our base of the block. We embroider it in the middle, as we found before, the middle point, and we draw. This is the middle point, and with the blue pen we made the drawing, window drawing. Let's align our Dresden. We need to measure from the middle point. From the middle point it should be equally up, down, left and right. Let's measure. Let's pin. We just need small drops on the edges. Especially corners are important. And put your iron, just press on it. Better not to move so much. So when the glue dry, we will not need to pin anymore. I use Bernina machine. On Bernina machine there is some stitch like this, and the stitch length is 1, the width is the 1 or 1.5. And I use the microtex needle like this, and some applique foot. Depends on your machine, you need to choose. And this is the superior thread, the bottom line thread. It is very thin, so it is hardly visible. we need the seam, so just on the edge of the sides. So the straight seams are going to be just side of the edges, and the left side seams will be on the Dresden part. You can see here more detail. Just the edge and the left seam, it is on the Dresden. It will be like this, hardly visible. Now we need to prepare our plastic sheet and the freezer paper for the embroidery middle part. Just flip over from the middle point, put your plastic sheet. Again, the pattern is at the link. These are the seam allowance rings. I choose the 1 centimeter, 10 millimeter, and draw it. This is again this friction ball pen. And carefully cut on the marks. Be careful, don't cut the Dresden, just on the base fabric. We will need the Terreal Magic solution, or you can use the starch for the quilting also. We will need a little bit for this. You can put a little bit water if you want to. Mix with the water. So let's put on the cutting board, ironing board, our circle, and we will need some brush, normal basic brush, and this freezer paper in the middle. Now we will fold the sides inside. Let's put our solution sides. That can be starch, that can be this solution. And carefully folding and ironing sides. So as much as possible, try to make it smooth circle sides. So it will be perfectly round. Let's put our circle. Exactly in the middle. We need to measure again with our ruler. From each side it should be same. We are still keeping this middle point. These drawings are pretty important actually. Let's pin again with this temporary glue. We need to glue again before we sew it. I use the same glue acid. Again, small drops. We will do exactly the same on the Dresden plates. We did it. We will glue all around, and the same adjustment, the seams, stitches, we did on the machine, and the same material, the same thread, the same needles, and we need to sew on the circle. Same stitch. And we need to cut each blocks 20 inch to 20 inch. And I have now several blocks for my single size quilt. Thank you for watching. See you for the next time.